Welcome back. With me today is multi-award winner and family entertainer, the Minister of Positivity, Fred Penner.
Thank you, Chris.
I still love that name. You've published all of these books. Is there one that is specific, in your opinion, to kind of meet today in 2022? Out of all the children's books that you have, is there one that you say, hey, that's the one that would speak volumes in 2022?
Well, I've not written many books. And all the books that I've done have been based on songs that I've done. So Ebenezer Sneezer was a book once upon a time. That's long out of print. Uh, the Cat Came Back has been a book along the way. Proud was turned into a book for a while, but the
Wow.
main book that I'm selling now in my concerts is a song called The Bump,
Okay.
and I put it on the first record, and it is a story about a bump who aspires to be something different, aspires to be a hill where people can toboggan, aspires to be a mountain where people can climb, aspires to be a volcano with explosion and all that. But ultimately, the bump is just a bump, and a family arrives on the scene to build a house on top of this bump.
Oh,
So bump's purpose in life has been accepted. It's a very simple story, but I think it's like home is where the heart is.
okay.
It's you the message is learn to be content with what you've got, do the best with what you have, and celebrate who you are in this world.
Wow. So it's kind of leads me to my next question. A lot of people feel if they had a time machine, they could go back in time and say, I would tell this to my younger self and get started sooner rather than later or change direction. Is there something that you would go back and tell your younger self to do?
As I was saying at the beginning, nobody ever told me that I could make a career out of performing. If someone had said that earlier on, I received lots of, hey, Fred, that was good. You sang that well. You played that well. But nobody ever said, why don't you go to music school? Why don't you actually learn the intricacies and the skill of composing? Because
Mhm.
I've written hundreds and hundreds of songs, but I've always felt that I didn't quite have the skill to score them properly.
Okay.
But then the Beatles didn't know how to write music either. So, put that in perspective. But I think, um, if if someone had said earlier on that you really do seem to have an affinity for music,
Hmm.
why don't you consider following that path? Uh, I may have gone that direction, and then my path may have altered, in a different way, where I would not be where I am now, for whatever reason. you know
Sure.
i i I have uh, no disappointment with not having gained those skills earlier on. I feel totally fulfilled as a musician. I feel fulfilled as a creator. I feel the buoyancy of a very big life. I'm 75 years old now, and I'm still I'm going back on the road after COVID. So we'll see how that goes. So I love the life that I'm living. I love the work that I've done over this amount of time, and I just encourage people to follow your bliss, do the absolute best you can to be the best person you can be.
So you had mentioned that you're going back on the road there. Where can people learn more about your upcoming projects and tour dates and everything like that?
Yeah, on fredpenner.com.
Okay.
It, my tour information is there. People can send me email that comes straight to me on that site if there's questions. Yeah, we've got dates now until the middle of July, from
Oh,
coast to coast. I just signed a contract for a gig in Grand Falls in Newfoundland on the 18th of July, and playing in Nanaimo this next month, in Victoria in June, and the children's festivals in Vancouver and in Winnipeg over the next while. Yeah, so fredpenner.com. I try to keep that up to date, but I look forward to connecting with some of your viewers and see where that takes us.
Absolutely. I have time for one last question for you today,
Okay.
Fred. What makes Fred Penner smile?
The simplest things, the simplest things I can, as I look around me, I'm just about to get my hair cut, and the building you see behind me is my haircutter space. But they've got a beautiful garden here, and I'm looking at a rose bush beside me, and I'm seeing the beginning of sprouts happening. You know, it, and this has always been part of my. Oh, I look down. There's a patch of rhubarb growing on the ground
Oh,
here. That delights me. That makes me smile. Seeing the simplest things in life can bring me to tears occasionally. And that's, I think that's definitely something that my mother taught me. She was really strong and a wonderful soul. She passed about 15 years ago now, but she had a similar kind of sensitivity, and I that's what makes me smile. The littlest things can take me there easily.
that's awesome. Fred, I
Mm.
really appreciate your time and thank you for being with here for us today. I'm your host, Christopher Power. Our guest today is the amazing and wonderful Fred Penner. Don't forget to check out Fred at fredpenner.com and head over to the disabilitychannel.ca for more great content.
Excellent.
Remember to have a fantastic day and smile to
I
inspire.
will. Smile, smile.
Thank you, Fred.